Marucci Sports was born right here in Baton Rouge and has made a name for itself amongst the big leaguers of the MLB. Players such as David Poppy Ortiz and Andrew McCutchen use Marucci bats, and as of the last year, Southern University has been added to the list of players who use the Marucci brand. Southern University couldn't be more excited to be sponsored by Marucci Sports, just as Jeff Southall, director of Marucci Elites, is. And he is a big reason Marucci took on SU baseball.
Roger and I go a long way back, as do I with Dan Canterbury. We are kind of taking care of Roger and them from an equipment standpoint, bats, gloves, that kind of thing. It helps them as well as, from a budget standpoint, but it helps us in the local community because we want to support the locals.
The Marucci bat phenomenon began a little bit over 10 years ago in a workshop by three Baton Rouge natives, Jack Marucci, Joe Lawrence, and Kurt Ainsworth, who wanted to produce a flawless piece of maple and a craftsmanship that is wanted by all.
It's really a great and a kind of a crazy story that a couple of guys would decide to do a wood bat company in Baton Rouge when the wood is not actually from here. But it's actually really cool because they've had great success and they're former big leaguers, and that makes a big difference. So we kind of start with quality first and giving the best players what they need and want to be successful. Kurt and Joe were with their trainer, Jack, who is still the athletic trainer out at LSU, and those guys were kind of rehabbing and hatched this idea of building bats, and it really is awesome. And through a contact with Eduardo Perez that Jack had, because he at one point was at Florida State, and Eduardo played there, got him to swing the bat. And then Barry Larkin gets the first hit, Mike Cameron gets the first homer in the big leagues, and very different than most companies. We actually started at the big league level and work our way down all the way to T-ball.
Who knew that a company that started with a simple contact would take off as it did, making an empire for Marucci Sports, featuring bats and gloves. But they also have the Hitter's House.
We have our Hitter's House, which is quite simply a retail store, and these cages that we're in is a membership-driven, like one of the overnight fitness centers where you can join and come in, and our guys and members, they can hit 24 hours a day if they like, and and then we run our high school division Marucci Elite teams out of here. But this facility, I think, is much needed in Baton Rouge. Probably the nicest facility I have ever seen of its kind, as an indoor facility.
Next on Marucci Sports' plate is reaching into the college platform a little bit more. And they are not just baseball, but they are making an impact among the game of softball.
We have a lot of schools that use our products, and we want to expand in that area, getting into the softball world with products. And we've hired Cassie Trosclair, who actually is working out in L.A., but working for us, and that's kind of the mecca for softball, if you will. And so we're slowly getting there, one bat at a time, one glove at a time, and and then it turns into one team, and then hopefully one conference, and so on.
Honor the game is apparent to the Marucci Sports. It means to respect the game and those who came before you.
It's like guys today are driving in a money train at the professional level, but some other folks before them kind of laid the track, so to speak. So just honor the game, respect the game, play it the way it's supposed to be played, regardless of the score and regardless of your opponent, and know that others have come before you and done a lot of hard work.
It's quite simple, really. There are no shortcuts, no easy routes, just hard work and hustle. When you play that way, you honor the game. It's a good feeling knowing that this company has taken an interest in helping our university and our SU players and making a name in our community. So if you don't know the name Marucci, it's time you learn. Back to you, Clarence.